think this wine is definitely the prettiest and most expressive in the flight.
The 2022 Oregon Wine Competition had just over 300 entries this year, with the pandemic and smoke playing a factor in the state's recent wine production. But the competition was as intense as ever.
The lineup of wines this year was fabulous, especially the reds. I thought the Tempranieros were much more brilliant. I thought that the Syrahs, Syrahs is a solid one for the state anyway, but were elegant and pronounced and just such a professional level.
The presentation of the wines was fantastic, timely. It's a good setting. The pace was good. The right amount of wines per flight.
The Syrah flight was very strong. Was extremely strong. There were double golds that were unanimous in that flight, as were in others as well.
Really eye-opening and quite surprising in a good way to see these interesting blends, both white and red. Today, same thing. We had some very unique varietal combinations, which were good and uniformly good across the board. And some surprises, again in a good way. Tempranillo, Barbera, all wines that perhaps don't get as much recognition, but apparently those grapes do very well here.
It is a bit more on the robust, bold side.
No shocker there. The historic Oregon varietals did well, with Syrah coming out strong, which has been a theme in this competition. While Rosé has taken its lumps from the judges in the past, that wasn't the case this year.
There's this beautiful bouquet that I'm finding in these rosés from today.
Rosé, on the other hand, it was probably our strongest flight of the day and one of my strongest flights of the last 2 days. Oregon as a whole state, or let's call Oregon a broad region, really gets rosé is they get brightness, they get freshness.
Rosés get the stamp of approval, and when it came to the white and sparkling wines, the judges seemed to be pleasantly surprised.
We did the white blend flight, which was pretty amazing and a unique experience for me because I've never seen such a wide variety of different grapes blended and with such consistently good results.
They're working with different varietals outside of Pinot Noir, which I encourage and think is a nice change of pace. The Pinot Gris compilation mixed either with other grape varieties or on its own, I think has a beautiful expression.
The level of concentration that some of the sparklings had really were surprising to me. Some of them even showed some yeast and more traditional method, like that brioche and the toast and all those things that you look for in a classic champagne. Those qualities actually came through in some of the wines today.
By design, it is not easy to medal in this competition. But this year, the judges just felt there were a lot of medal-worthy wines.
I think the level of who's receiving medals this year is much higher. The repetition of gold medals, oh my gosh, we had several flights that, out of 10 wines, 4 of them got golds. A lot even from the silver category, which have really ramped up.
This is a statewide competition, but each year the Oregon Wine Experience selects a region to highlight for the judges to visit, and this year they took a trip to the Umpqua Valley.
Oh, that tour was incredible. It was so amazing to be able to actually see the environment and feel the climate and meet the people who are making this possible, who have dreamt and thought over, in some cases generations, right?
And I think it's an area that has yet to be fully appreciated and discovered. So I'm really looking forward to trying to get some of these wines into Florida and putting them in our restaurant program or in the retail store.
Even if they weren't able to physically visit a region in Oregon, the judges say the wines transported them there.
This is my first visit, and heretofore it was AVAs on a map. I've been to Willamette Valley several times, but this was my first. But it won't be my last trip. I've enjoyed the experience very much, and I think the wines are really good, and I think there's a lot of great potential yet to come.
Judges love to use a plethora of words when describing wines, like typicity, an incredible bouquet, and herbaceous red fruit. But in summing up this competition, we forced them to use just one.
Evolution.
Identity.
Quality.
Eye-opening.
Enjoyable.
Yummy.